Hey guys, I just wanted to make a final build update video for my lifestacker for the league. As you can see in the background, the build is just stupidly strong. Absolutely nothing outside of Deep Delve or Veldomaps can possibly provide a challenge for the build. It simply just face tanks everything and kills Uber bosses in just a few seconds. And I have to say, I am actually pleasantly surprised that the build is better than ever before, even with the nerf to the Wrathpith Globe. And yeah, this is all because of the spell gem buffs, Corruption Sun Gear, and the packs that was introduced in this league. And with that being said, what really makes this build as ridiculous as it is just how the build functions through the uniques and how we build around them. The build will always scale its damage through life stacking, reaching 100% critical strike chance, and by getting a lot of critical strike multiplier. This means that the build will always be completely busted with the spell that is meta during a league. And then it really doesn't matter if it's a channeling spell, nova spell, fire spell, physical spell, cold, or whatever. Any spell that you want to use will absolutely work. In this league, for instance, the most overpowered spells has without a doubt been Winter Orb and Lightning Tendrils of Escalation. But then, what happens the next league when those spells gets utterly gutted? And that's exactly it. We just use any other spell that we want. It could maybe be the most meta skill in the league, or maybe something else that just mechanically feels so good to use. This essentially means that the build as a whole is completely immune to nerfs. It will always be stupidly tanky on all budgets, and it will always be able to deal huge amounts of damage with some investment put into the build. And should you be a little bit skeptical about this, and if this is the first time that you're seeing one of my videos, I would highly suggest that you watch my Zero to Hero series for the Lifestacker, where I face tank almost everything and clear the Atlas and all invitations except the Feared with just 2 Divines invested into the build. And that's exactly one of the biggest strengths of the build. The progression is just buttery smooth. You can start a Templar straight from level 1, clear the campaign, gather the core items, and constantly make upgrades from there. Every single upgrade and every single passive point spent will absolutely make you feel the difference. You also don't even need a mage slot if you don't want to, although it will definitely elevate the build to the next level. But nevertheless, this build is for everyone. Lazy people like myself, dead gamers, casual gamers, hardcore blasters, and everything in between. There's just no content that this build cannot do. And now, before moving on to the actual updates to the build, I just really wanted to give a heartfelt huge shout out and thank you to everyone who has supported me in one way or another when starting out this YouTube thing. Just the likes on the videos that I'm getting, the comments, the positive encouragement that I see. I just really can't thank you guys enough. It is, yeah, I feel so warm inside, really. And I especially want to say thank you to the people in my Discord community. You guys know exactly who you are. You have been so incredibly helpful on my journey as a new content creator. And let me tell you, I'm just getting started. And I will keep making videos, I will keep streaming on Twitch. So yeah, I am really positive about my future as a content creator. And that's all thanks to you guys. Alright, now for the build update. First, I want to mention that I won't be updating the written guide with the changes that I'm about to cover. I find it to be way too aspirational for many, and I would also not recommend trying to get what I have, but I will of course still leave the PUBG for it in the description if you're curious. So, as you might have noticed already, I am currently using Lightning Tendrils of Escalation. And yeah, what can I say? This skill here is just really absolutely broken. It just deals huge damage, it has huge AoE, and on top of that, it shocks so well. Like the portion of the shock just gets huge as well. So yeah, everything about this skill is just incredible. So yeah, you can definitely expect that this is going to get a really hefty nerf next week. And as you also might have seen in the showcase, I am actually also using some different skill gems, like obviously the Winter Orb that I've been making some guides about, and I also used Incinerator Venting, and both of these here are actually channeling skills, right? So that actually means that I don't even have to remove the gems, the support gems that I have up here in my helm. I can keep using both infused channeling support and focus channeling. And then basically the only thing I actually have to do to make a change is just that I might have to use a different aura other than Wrath. Like, for instance, with the Watcher's Eye that I have, I actually benefit a lot from having Anger. So yeah, if I were to, let's say, use Incinerator Venting or Winter Orb, well, then I would simply just swap over to use Anger instead. And that's really the only changes in terms of the gems. So when it comes to using Lightning Tendrils of Escalation, there's a huge variance to how much damage you actually deal from every single tick of it. And because of that, I am using this ring here, Foulborn Lori's Lantern. Your damage would hit is lucky while on low life, and since we're always on low life, well, that just means that we actually deal so much more damage with this ring. And yeah, other than that, it has a couple of other stats that is important to use. I had to find one with the specific implicit here, adds 15 to 28 cold damage to spells and attacks. Because if I did not have this one, I would actually not have any way of chilling the enemy, so it would then proc hypothermia that is on the helm. So that's just a little extra something. So another change that I have in the build is this one here, the Wrathpith Globe. This is a huge one because I got really lucky with this one. A day on stream, I decided that I wanted to try and see if I could get one of these really good vestigial implicits. So yeah, I grabbed 6 shields. They had different vestigial implicits on. And I just tried to use a volatile Valorb on all of them. And I got arguably the best one, I would say, which is Everlasting Sacrifice. And yeah, I also got the 4% increased spell damage per 100% player maximum life, which is exactly the one that I wanted. But yeah, the reason why this is so incredibly powerful is because whenever I reach full energy shield, and you can see down here, I reach full energy shield almost every second, I get 5% extra, what's called maximum resistance to everything. So that even includes chaos resistance, right? So this actually makes me able to completely just cap out on all my resistances, just like this. It is like so huge that I can actually get this. And obviously, this is really aspirational because there are not a lot of these items on, so you have to get really lucky with the volatile Valorb if this is something that you potentially would decide to go for. Now, what else is there to cover? Oh, yes. So I have also gone away from using Tempest Shield as a buff, and instead I am using Arctic Armor. This just makes me take less physical damage while I stand still, which I usually do. Of course, we are losing some spell block when we don't use Tempest Shield, but honestly, it's no real issue because we have an insane amount of elemental max hit. So yeah, it's really not going to matter at all. The only thing is also that then we also need to have, where is it? There. We need to have this specific mod here on a flask, which is 55% chance to avoid being shocked during effect. And so you obviously also need Maze Blood in order to be able to use this one. So that's another thing. Other than that, I don't really think there are too many changes. Yeah, maybe the last thing I want to mention once again is that these different skills here, right? Don't just like use them willy-nilly. If these are some skill jumps that you want to use, you do have to use the correct type of aura and skill gems. Like for instance, if I put in, let's say, Tornado of Elemental Turbulence, then I would, for instance, not be using the Wrath aura, then I would be using Hatred instead. I might even want to, let's say, use a different Forbidden Flesh and Flame Jewel. It's a bit different depending on what you want. But once again, like, this is not supposed to be a build guide. This is just supposed to just be an update. So yeah, you guys can use any spell that you want, but it does require that you have some knowledge about the auras and exactly how to actually scale the spell itself. But yeah, obviously, I'm also here to help. I might not be super knowledgeable about every single skill and exactly which type of supports to use, but yeah, you can always ask, and then I will try and see what I can do to help. And of course, I forgot to mention a few other things. Not that I would say it's super important for the build, at least one of them, but yeah, it's still something I need to mention. I have a 5 flask Mage Blood, and I only really need the 4 flasks. I really don't need the 5th one. The 5th one that I'm using is just a quartz flask, just to give myself some permanent phasing, some more movement speed, and this is simply just something I use only for deep delves. So yeah, otherwise I would actually just use Aurea's End or maybe another unique flask. So don't start to think that, oh my god, 5 flask Mage Blood is completely mandatory, because no, it's not. It's just something that I'm using for deep delving. Yeah. Other than that, I also completely forgot to cover my my Spectre setup and my Animate Guardian setup. So we can just quickly go through the Animate Guardian setup. Using a Kingmaker, of course. I am using a Mask of the Stitch Demon to help with the survivability. Then I am using Doppelganger's Guise here, and I honestly should, well, I mean, I should not change this because I'm trying to like go deep delving right now, and my Animate Guardian keeps dying no matter what I do. So it probably doesn't matter what gear I'm actually using. But under normal circumstances, I would recommend that you guys would be using Garb of the Ephemeral. That will make you crit immune while being close to your Animate Guardian, and it would also make you unable to actually be slowed. Then I'm using a Windscream here with just elemental resistance implicit on, and this is because, yeah, then your Animate Guardian can apply 2 curses. And yeah, these are the gloves that I'm using, right? So whenever it curses something, it curses them with Enfeeble and Punishment, so it's pretty good. So yeah, for the Spectres, I am using the Kitty Cat here, the Perfect Forest Tiger, and I am using a Perfect Forest Warrior, so I get Onslaught. And then the last one I'm using, that I really don't like using because it dies all the time, is the Perfect Pain Artist. But I will say, if you're just doing bossing or something like that, I can really strongly recommend you to go with the sort of the similar Spectres that I'm using currently, because it definitely helps with the damage. But yeah, if you don't want to use Spectres, you'll still crush absolutely everything. It's just there for a little bit extra, even though they do die when you are doing some more juiced content. Then the last things here that I want to cover that is, I would say, not needed at all. And this is yet another thing that I am not going to suggest that you guys should replicate, simply because it's really difficult to get this. And the first thing is this specific Glorious Vanity Jewel. Because normally in my guide, right, I put a Glorious Vanity up here. But this one here, with 1541 sacrificed in the name of Doriani, this one gives these two here. So these are really good when you want to stack life, right? But I promise you this one is going to be really expensive. I bought this one for 300 divines, and I have seen them go for up to like a mirror for the other part of the league. So yeah, once again, it's not something that I necessarily would recommend that you get. Like, you can easily get something else, right, and then just put them up here like you normally would. And the other thing here that is also complete overkill is that I have a one passive voices, and it's just because I am a bit of a degenerate who just wants to try and push my build as far as I possibly can. You don't need a one passive voices at all. You can just make some small changes to the passive tree, and everything will be just fine. And then, yeah, other than that, just like some small things, like I have some implicits on the different jewels. Like here, I cannot be hindered. And then I have, where is it? I have one down here, right on my +1 to minimum endurance charges. Just cannot be inflicted with corrupted blood. And yeah, that's really it. There's not really too much to this passive tree. Like, there's only two major changes, right? And that is the glorious vanity jewel here, and the voices. So yeah, that's it for this part. And guys, that was it. That was my final build update for my life stacking Inquisitor for this league, at least. Just straight out 10 out of 10. It's like, this is the league that I have ever played the most, and I believe a part of it could definitely be because I'm also making content now. But yeah, I just had so much fun with it, and I'm still not done yet because I still want to try and push some deep delve. Right now, I'm only at I think at like 1,050 or something like that. So I do plan on also pushing delve a bit. But yeah, as for regular mapping, bossing, etc., I don't think that I'm going to be playing this character. But I am also thinking I'm going to be trying out with doing some zero to hero type of content with some other builds. I know that some people in my community have really been putting the pressure on for me to do that. So yeah, I guess I have to do it. Anyway, that's enough of me yabbing for now. So I just want to say thank you so much if you're still here after having listened to me yap for a good amount of like 15 minutes. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, if you liked the video, please remember to like it, and you're also more than welcome to subscribe to the channel, of course. As mentioned earlier, I will make sure to put out a lot more content, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to see what else this content creation thing brings to me. In any case, guys, see you in the next video, and have an amazing day.